21 minutes now past 10 o'clock with some news on the U.S. housing market, and very good news if you are thinking about buying. 30-year fixed-rate mortgages at their lowest number ever. Mortgage finance giant Freddie Mac reports average rates on 30-year fixed-rate mortgages 4.7% this week. That's down from 4.8 last week. And as you might expect, there has been a surge both in buying and also refinancing at those very attractive rates. Buying and selling homes is a challenge in the best of circumstances, but they can be even more difficult in the tough economy. One local housing industry expert is sharing his personal experience and knowledge in a new radio on television show, if you wish. Reggie Marston is president of Residential Equity Management Home Inspections. He's also running the House PI show. He's the host of it, and he's been good enough to join us right now. Reggie,
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for joining us.
It's great to be here. Appreciate you having me.
Home inspections are one of those things that you really, first of all, you have to have one. I mean, if you don't,
idea.
You're just asking for trouble down the road.
Absolutely.
And it's something else that you need to spend a little money on and get somebody who knows what they're doing. You can think you know what you're looking for, but chances are you won't see the real problem, will you?
Has to be a knowledgeable person. If a person is a contractor or has extensive experience in construction, they could probably do a small home inspection, but there's a lot of things that we look for that are not apparent to your average purchaser. So we're the guys that are going to be going through your crawl space. We're going to be going through your attics. We're the guys that go through where you don't want to go. So that's where we're going to go.
And that's the important thing.
Absolutely.
You have to get this done, because where the problems are liable to first show themselves are places that you don't look very often, or may not, as you say, even want to go. What's the biggest problem that you see around here that most people are not aware of?
When they're purchasing a house, amateur work by the previous homeowners who do improper electrical installations, improper heating and air conditioning, improper additions and that type of thing. So that's the biggest problem. That's where it gets to be the most unsafe, because you go up into an attic and find a lot of the wires exposed, which are a significant fire hazard. So that's what we do as home inspectors.
People very often will try and save a little money. Everybody wants to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
But do you wind up very often paying more in the long run for just exactly that kind of thing? If you're going to somebody who may not be licensed, or somebody who says, ordinarily I'd charge this, but pay me in cash and
go to old Uncle Henry, who was a contractor for a while.
For a long time,
It can burn you. It really can. You want to get somebody who's knowledgeable out there, who has experience, who's been doing it for a while. And usually you want somebody who is a professional and has shown that level of professionalism, joining some of the national home inspector organizations, such as ASHI, the American Society of Home Inspectors. They're the oldest and most recognized in North America. And to become an ASHI inspector, you have to pass a 3-hour test, take a standards of practice test, so they know that you know what you're doing once you go out there.
And it occurs to me that every place is sort of its own individual case. If you're an inspector in this area, you're going to know some of the problems here that are fairly common. But if you're coming here from Arizona or something like that, they may be completely different, right?
Little different construction, because if you get out to California, they have their earthquake standards that we don't have in this area. We don't have to concern ourselves with strapping down our hot water heaters. So there is a little bit of a difference that way.
You've started a radio show now.
Yes, I did.
What's the response so far? Because this is one of those areas that everybody sort of knows in the back of their mind, I really need to do. Yep. But they may be unwilling, as we said earlier, to spend the extra money and get it done right.
Right. The radio show, and the reason I did that, I did a television show for Home and Garden TV for many years called The House Detective. And I had so much positive feedback from folks who watched me on that show that I thought, well, why don't I do something? There's a hunger for that knowledge. So what I did was I started the radio show. It's radio on TV. It's done through Fairfax Public Access. It's not on your typical radio stations. They broadcast it through Cox and Verizon Fios, Channel 37, Comcast 27, and it's on the internet at www.fca.org/WEBR. And there's a lot of radio shows out there and TV shows that are DIY shows. How do I clean the oil stain off my driveway, or that type of stuff. And what I'm trying to do is get into the meat of the issues and show people what they need to know once they're in a house, if they own a house, or if they're purchasing a house. We've done shows on the first-time home buyers, what they should be looking for. We've done it on polybutylene. If you're familiar with polybutylene, it's a defective plumbing product that the class action lawsuit has just expired. So I want to bring to the forefront not so much how to do it yourself, but things to know and where to go to get it corrected.
Where can people, when, I should say, can people watch?
They can't watch yet, but they can listen.
Okay.
They can watch me on the webcam,
yeah.
But it's on Wednesday afternoons, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Fairfax Public Access, channel 37 if you're watching Cox Verizon or Verizon Fios or Cox Digital. And we're also on the internet at www.fca.org/WEBR.
And there it is right
there.
There
It is, right
Check your local listings, as they say. Reggie Marston, thanks so much.
Thank you,
to
Dave.
have you here.
Appreciate it.
Very valuable stuff. We'll step away for just a bit. Back with more news right after this.